about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to, sir.
Well, you're wrong.
Batman: Mask of the Phantasm is a 1993 animated movie directed by Eric Radomski and Bruce Timm.
The soaring new adventure. Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. The animated movie.
And it's also a standalone continuation of Batman the Animated Series. The movie was originally going to have a direct-to-video release, however, Warner Bros. In the end decided to give the movie a theatrical release, making this movie the first theatrical film by Warner Bros. Animation. The reason why this movie got a theatrical release? Not sure, to be honest. Money, I guess. What I do know is that it didn't do so well in the box office, most likely because it was released to theaters on very short notice. Fortunately for the movie, it became financially successful when it was released to home video. Ironic, I know. And it also went on to get many positive reviews from critics.
Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, a Batman animated feature that was made in 1993, and Roger and I never reviewed it, and as far as I'm concerned, we made a big mistake because it's terrific.
Sorry I didn't go watch your movie when it came out in theaters. But I love it now! The movie even got 2 direct-to-video sequels in 1998 and 2003. The film over time became a cult classic, and many have even considered it as one of the best animated movies of all time. Some have even said before that it was the best Batman movie to ever come out. Until the release of Batman Begins changed many people's minds, of course.
Nice go.
But still, to this day, many praise this film not only as a Batman movie, but as a movie in general. I didn't get to watch this film as a little kid, so not much nostalgia is attached to it for me. In fact, I didn't really hear much about this film until I watched a video on YouTube about it just a few years ago, back when I was in my, best way to say it, Batman obsessed phase. So, I recently got to watch it for the first time. The story goes a little like this. Set in the 1940s, the Cape Crusader Batman goes against a new mysterious foe who is straight up killing Gotham's most dangerous criminals. What's making things more difficult for him is that many, including law enforcement, think that it's Batman who's doing the killing. And of course it isn't, because Batman has his famous no-killing rule, which I guess Zack Snyder really likes to ignore. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne runs into ex-Flame Andrea Belmont, which makes him reminiscent of times years ago when they were together. So there's that conflict going on also. It is amazing how they were able to pull off fitting this entire complicated plot into only an hour and 17 minutes. The movie not only has to tell the story of Batman having to solve the mystery of who is the Phantasm, but it also has to tell the story of Bruce Wayne and Andrea's relationship. There's also the reveal of who the Phantasm is, and also Joker comes later in the movies and they have to explain why he's there. They're able to pull it off so that all the different plots have enough time to tell the audience what's going on, and the pacing in this movie is just right to not make it feel cluttered or rushed despite so much going on in such a short runtime. Every scene in this movie moves from one to the other so fluidly, making the movie easy to watch no matter how complex the plot can be. Seriously, how the hell does this movie pull it off so well? You know what's really awesome about this movie? The characterization. Almost everything about it. The dialogue, the personalities, the writing, the voice acting is just so good! Okay, so you know how there's a ton of Batman movies out there? Well, I can say surely that out of all the Batmans, this one is one if not the best interpretation of Batman I have seen in a movie. We get to not only see how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman in this movie, but we also see a different side of him that isn't explored much in big screen adaptations of him. Seeing Bruce Wayne go through finding someone that makes him actually happy and seeing him actually reconsider his plan of fighting crime is amazing. We also see how he is brought down by the heartbreak, and after that, the mystery of the Phantasm. This whole movie is an epic Batman tragedy, and I freaking love it! And by the way, yeah, I said Batman origin story. Look, I know that the Batman origin story has been told like a million times in movies, so why bother watch another movie which tells it again? Well, I honestly think that this movie gets a pass at doing that. Not only does it tell it well, but it also adds more to the already well-known story with Andrea. Also, I guess I need to talk about Andrea, right? Andrea Belmont is Bruce Wayne's ex, which he even got engaged with. Andrea is a very complicated character, in a good way though. She stands as Bruce's chance of a second path he could take in life instead of Batman. Yet she is also complete with her whole character, so she isn't only just that, which makes her character three-dimensional. There's other things that help her character feel more complete, which I'll talk about later. Also, the Joker comes out in this movie, which is great. I mean, it's a Joker, come on. Unless it's Jared Leto, of course it's great. What makes it even better is that he's played by none other than Mark Hamill, which of course pulls off his performance amazingly. And the Joker doesn't come out in a way which makes it feel as if the writers just threw him in there just to gain a bigger audience for the movie.
Well, kind of actually.
But the Joker actually plays a very important role, which I'll talk about later. The Phantasm, which, fun fact, isn't actually called the Phantasm in the movie at all and isn't really given a name at all in the movie, is a great villain. The Phantasm stands as what Batman would be, without his morals. The Phantasm takes down criminals, but unlike Batman, the Phantasm straight up murders them. The Phantasm's motives are also understandable and believable, and also the mystery surrounding the Phantasm are engaging and complex enough to keep you questioning the whole movie. Although I do have to say that there's so many flashbacks in this movie that at one point it feels as if the whole Phantasm plot is just entirely forgotten, but it's later on revealed that the flashbacks themselves have to do with the Phantasm mystery itself, so it all feels connected. Every character is very well written here, all their motives are understandable, and nothing comes out of character even when the things they do or are revealed to do come out as surprising. So this is an animated movie. So of course in a review for an animated movie, there begs a question. Is the animation good? For this movie? Of course it is, it's from the same people who made Batman the Animated Series. They go for a look similar to the show, where Gotham has a gothic and dark atmosphere, and the settings are always filled with shadows, yet not too many shadows, so that it's not too dark to tell what's going on. The movement of the characters and everything around them are pretty solid too. It's all well done. I also gotta talk about the intro for the movie, which shows models of Gotham's buildings by using CGI. Sure, it looks pretty dated compared to today's standards, but it's still really good for an intro. The music in this movie can be described as simply big and epic. The awesome orchestral score that screams out Batman, and accompanied with a choir that makes it feel even more, well, epic! Okay, it's time for spoiler talk. If you haven't seen this movie and you don't want to get hit with spoilers, please skip to the timestamp on screen. Anyways, time to talk about the ending. So I really like how the movie makes you believe at first that the Phantasm is Andrea's dad, so that it could surprise you later that it's actually Andrea behind the mask. Dun 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 dun! Also, they don't lean too hard on it so that this movie isn't stale on rewatches. In fact, I could say the opposite and that this movie actually gets better with rewatches. So yeah, the fact that Andrea is actually the Phantasm was pretty well done. And it's believable that she killed all those people as revenge for her father's death. Also, the idea that the Joker was the one who killed Andrea's father was great, and it adds a lot to his importance in the story. The whole final showdown at the amusement park was great too. Seeing how everything that has happened throughout the movie has led to this is awesome. Just awesome. This movie is way too overlooked. I've seen many cult movies gain more bigger followings as they age, and I'm glad because some of my favorite movies are among those. However, I think that this movie deserves the same treatment. Yes, don't get me wrong, this movie did gain recognition, but I think it deserves way more. The characters are amazing, the animation looks good, the story is complex and emotionally investing for people of all ages, and the musical score makes the movie even bigger. If you haven't seen this movie before, I strongly recommend it to you. If you have an appreciation for Batman, superhero films, DC films, the animation medium, or if you're just searching for a really good movie, I really think this movie deserves your watch. So yeah, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I give it a very good score of 90.
Nice footwork. Can you dance too?